The skinny fat physique is something which has just become so much more common in the last couple of years. Started to be a scenario where about 50% of men over the age of 30 in America are obese, and you just see this so common everywhere you go. So many people kind of struggle with this physique where their body composition's off and they've kind of got thin arms and then they've got a lot of fat which they're storing in their abdomen. So this is an issue where a lot of men are actually developing physically like women. They're not actually developing like a man where they have a built up frame, and they're starting to just put on way too much fat in places where you really don't need it, and it's just really started to create this epidemic of the skinny fat physique, which I'm going to talk about today. So if you're struggling with this video is really going to help you. So the first thing to understand is why this is happening. And a huge reason for this is just the decrease in testosterone in men over the last couple of decades. So previously, there used to be a drop of about 1% or 1.6% year on year in young men in their testosterone levels. However, recent studies have shown that this has improved to 2.4%. So this is actually a huge reason why people have stubborn fat. If your testosterone goes down, it's directly correlated with your body's ability to store fat. And if you have low testosterone, you're just going to store a lot more fat than you would otherwise have been able to store. So this is part of the reason. Another part of the reason is low testosterone is directly correlated with your body's ability to build muscle. So if your testosterone's high, you're going to be able to build a lot of muscle a lot easier. Whereas if your testosterone's low, then your ability to build muscle is severely hindered. So this is kind of the scenario where a lot of young men found themselves in, where their testosterone is too low, so their body's ability to store fat is increased, and their body's ability to actually build up that muscle, which they need, is also severely hindered. So this is where you kind of get into that dilemma where you've got a skinny fat physique. So because of this, I think that the first step into solving the skinny fat problem is just to really increase your testosterone as much as you can. So you should really be paying a lot of close attention to your sleep. You should be getting at least 8 to 9 hours sleep each day. And you should be going to bed the same time every single day so that your circadian rhythm can pick up on this. This is where you really get healthy levels of REM sleep and deep sleep. And this is where testosterone is going to be produced. So I would really prioritize your sleep. Also, nutrition. You should be eating healthy, whole, organic, natural, whole foods. And this should be 80 to 90% of your overall diet. It's okay if you slip up here and there, but if you can just have 80 to 90% of your diet as just foods in their natural state, things like steak, chicken, eggs, sweet potatoes, vegetables, fruit, nuts, olive oil, butter, this is really going to help to really create a testosterone boost in your body. This is going to really start to regulate your hormonal health. In addition to that, I would also recommend going outside, getting your sunlight, making sure you're hydrated. So if you can really dial in these few key factors, this is going to have a huge impact on really boosting up your testosterone and getting your testosterone back to healthy levels. So the first step, once you've started to increase your testosterone, get your healthy levels of test back, is to just get in the gym and really focus on building your strength. So this is the first step you should be doing. You can do this right away. Just get in the gym and really focus on getting stronger on key lifts. So what happens is, why this is so helpful is because this is going to really start to rearrange and restructure your body composition. So currently, people who struggle with skinny fat, they have way too much fat and not enough muscle. So if you start to really build up your muscle and really start to build up your frame, your body composition is going to completely change, and you're going to start to look a lot more masculine, and you're going to start to just look a lot better in your body. The other point and reason why building muscle and getting stronger is so important is because this is going to directly affect your resting metabolic rate. So the two variables which affect your metabolism are how active you are and how much muscle mass you have. So if you can really start to focus on building up your muscle mass, it means that the amount of fat and calories that you're going to be burning at rest when you're sleeping is therefore going to massively improve. So this is another key factor. Just really changing up your body composition, really building up that frame so you look a lot more masculine and you fit into your body a lot better. And then also, all of that stubborn fat, having more muscle is really going to help really try and slim down this fat, because it's going to improve your resting metabolic rate and your metabolism is going to get a lot faster. So this is why I think that getting in the gym and getting stronger is such a huge key step. A lot of people miss this step and think that they just need to worry about losing the fat, whereas they don't focus on putting on that muscle, and I think that this is a huge mistake. So putting on muscle and building up your frame is absolutely crucial. So one mistake which a lot of people make on this journey is that they go too intense with cardio and they try and burn a lot of the fat that they have. So the reason why intensive cardio doesn't work is because it's going to actually create a lot more cravings. Once you go through intense cardio sessions like zone tune cardio, Hydrox, or you're just doing intensive running sessions like marathons, what happens is your body starts to become far too depleted, and therefore it's going to seek replenishment. So it's going to start to really increase and create a trigger in your body, which is going to increase your hunger and increase your appetite. So therefore, if you're someone who's relying on cardio to try and fix this issue, I think you're looking at it the wrong way. This is going to start to really increase your appetite, and a lot of times people source this additional calories and food from the wrong sources, and people tend to snack a lot more, which is really not going to help your testosterone or your muscle growth. And the last point is that people who go too intense with cardio, what happens is this is going to start to burn a little bit of fat, but it's also going to really start to burn into your muscle sources. And you need your muscle source to be high so that you can have a higher resting metabolic rate and burn into more calories. One other mistake I see people make is just cutting down their nutrition and going high in protein and then low in fat. This is a nutrition mistake which is really going to backfire on you, because if you go really low in fat, what's going to happen is your blood sugar is going to spike, and you're going to find that your cravings really start to increase, and therefore it's just like a yo-yo effect. You're eventually going to crash out on your diet, you're going to get far too hungry and ravenous from torturing yourself too much and cutting out this key essential macronutrient, and eventually you're just going to backfire and overeat. Also, cutting out your fat, it's going to really have an effect on your mood, your energy source, and also your hormonal balance. So if you can actually have a balance of protein, fats, and carbs, and eat around about maintenance or just in a slight deficit, this is really going to help regulate your hormonal system, your energy is going to improve, your mood is going to improve, and naturally you're just going to burn a lot more calories, and you're also going to put on more muscle, which is really going to help fix your body composition and really help give you that much more satisfying look. So one final point to go over is the most useful tool you can do. If you want to go over the top and in addition to this advice, I'd highly recommend, if you want to do any cardio, you should be doing walking. So this is the only moderate cardiovascular activity which is going to burn a moderate amount of calories, and also it's not going to induce any more hunger. So if you can aim for between 12 to 14,000 steps per day of walking, this is just really going to help go above and beyond, and it's really going to make it a lot easier to just get rid of some of that stubborn fat that you might have. So this is such a useful tool. I don't recommend doing this at the gym on the treadmill, because I just find that it's just so boring and you're just kind of killing yourself with boredom doing that. So I highly recommend going outside, and this is going to kill two birds with one stone as well, because you're going to get a healthy amount of vitamin D on your skin, which is going to help boost your hormonal health as well. And also just going outside, going for a walk in the park, getting outside in nature, I found that this really helps regulate your mood as well. It's going to boost your dopamine and your serotonin, and it's just going to make the whole process a lot more enjoyable. So getting outside, going for a walk, this isn't going to increase your cravings, and it's going to really help to burn some of that stubborn fat as well, and really help to increase and improve your body composition. So this is my best advice if you're currently struggling with skinny fat. Boost your testosterone as much as you can, prioritize the basics, you should be getting a healthy amount of sleep, nutrition should be dialed, go outside, get some sunlight, really focus on strength gains, build up that body, build up that muscle, create a more masculine frame. This is also going to help with stubborn fat as well. And then just go outside and start walking 12 to 14,000 steps per day, and don't go too intense with your cardio sessions. Make sure that your nutrition is balanced so that your hormones can be regulated, your testosterone stays high, and your energy and your mood stays high throughout the process. Because if you can't enjoy the process, then you're literally just not going to stick to it no matter what.